Alright, hello everybody and welcome to iCommand. We've got a skirmish game log for you all, and hallelujah, I have figured out what was wrong with my microphone and my new computer. I'm so sorry for the scratchy, tinny, yucky sounding audio in the last few videos. It was some default setting deep in Windows that was being applied to my microphone. And some stupid audio enhancement that was making it sound like that. Finally found it, turned it off. My voice is now clear as a bell. Yes, my coughs will now be clear as a bell, but I'm going to be cutting those out. And now that it's not being muffled, I can actually find them easier when I'm editing video. And also just I have this little mute switch on my headset, so you don't have to deal with those. God, they sounded so gross in that with that setting turned on. Anyway, that was really stressing me out. But we've got a fun skirmish log for you. This is going to be from Season 8. I'm going to be talking about Season 9 content soon. But I thought this would be appropriate given the list that we're seeing. Although, what am I talking about? I'm thinking of New Hope. But this is going to be still interesting, and this is actually a tournament game from one of our weeknight tournaments in November. This is going to be Collin versus Derek from round 1. It was a 4-player tournament, so just 2 rounds. And I found this while I was going through and uploading all of the results from the Vassal Logs. And oh, this is too big. Let me shrink that. And it looked like I kind of was skimming through it, and it looked like it'd be a fun game to cover. So I'm going to be going through this game log with you guys. I'm just trying to squish it so that I can see both the scores. And there we go. Okay. Was there anything else I need to talk about? No, that's going to be it. So we've got Collin playing Rebels, aka Gothound, and he's got a list that will make sense once we see it. So he's got Rebel Care Package, 3PO with Gideon, and then Chirrut Imwe with K2SO, Baze Malbus, and Cassian Andor. And if you're starting to see the pattern now, we've got Rogue One. Well, at least 4 out of the 5 available. Oh, that's right. That's why I was thinking of Season 9. He's got Saw Gerrera, R2-D2, and then as his, I think she should be 7 points, Verena Talos as his final figure filling out the list. Now, the reason I was thinking of Season 9 is, first of all, we've got Bodhi coming out in Season 9 as a 2-pointer, Bodhi Rook. And Jyn Erso is getting a -1 point reduction. So I feel like this Rogue One list, you could swap out, I don't know, 3PO or something. Or heck, even if you go from Verena to, let's see, how many points is this? This is 5, 13, 18, 24, 30... okay, yeah, Verena is 7, so 40 points. So I don't know if you could cut something for Bodhi and then cut Verena. You save 1 point there. Yeah, you could easily fit Bodhi and Jyn Erso in this list. But this is from Season 8. We didn't have those upgrades or those cards yet, so Collin made what he had, and I think it's understandable to cut Jyn Erso at that point. I think we've established that she just ended up being overcosted at 7. But I'll talk about that more when we talk about the Season 9. And then we've got Heroic Effort as the only skirmish upgrade. And he is playing against Derek, our steering committee member, who is playing a list that it looks slightly familiar, but there's some pieces different than what we usually see Derek playing. We've got Mando, who I think is probably Derek's favorite figure at this point, based on what he plays. He plays it all the time. But instead of IG-11, like we usually see it with, he's got Sabine, who is, it's really nice to see Sabine. Also got Onar, Hondo, Temporary Alliance to bring in Gideon, and then we've got an Elite Jawa bringing in R2-D2 and C-3PO, and also has Devious Scheme. Something really cool that I like about this list, there's only one IACP card, and that's just Mando. The rest are Sabine, Onar, and Hondo, those are straight up FFG cards and not from IACP. So Derek going old school with some of the best figures in the game from the original FFG game. And for those who don't know, for IACP, these are actually some of the cards that we have aimed to hit the power level at. Sabine, Onar, Hondo, and other factions would be Thrawn. These are the figures we really try to match the power level to from the pre-IACP. Because that was the power level that everything had to meet or didn't get played back in the day. So, all right, let's get into the game here. We are playing on Propaganda War, I should say. On Coruscant Back Alley. So this is the one where they have the posters, and you have to flip them by spending 2 movement points and controlling it. You have to control the poster to flip it, but you also have to spend 2 movement points while you're adjacent and control it. Let's see, I believe the red deployment zone is the rebel mission tokens. Yep. So Collin's mission tokens are going to be the rebel, which is convenient because he's in the red deployment zone, and Derek's going to be the Empire. I should point out that Derek got to choose both his deployment zone and got to stick Collin with the round 1 initiative, which is generally advantageous. Normally you don't want to have initiative round 1 because it means that you're not going to have it round 2 by default unless you draw and take initiative. So that's the power of the 1-point devious scheme in his list. And then let's see, so Derek took the blue deployment zone, mostly because this is such a strong position from the terminal. From here you can actually see all the way over here, whereas the other side you have to kind of hide all your figures back here. Although honestly, I'm not sure anymore if the blue is really the best. I've found the red is actually pretty good. You're actually a lot more secure all the way back here, whereas the blue, you can't really put something on this right column here on the right side of the terminal because they are exposed. So you have to line everything up against the wall, and it's a little bit crowded, whereas you have a little more room to put your figures over here as long as they're down here like that. But let's start off. So I realize I've had Baze here the whole time, who is also is Baze from season 8 or no, he's from season 8, right? Yeah, he just came out in season 8. Alright. Verena also just got adjusted. Alright, so we are resolving, it looks like, Cassian's strike team ability. So that's going to allow him to move himself and another figure 2 spaces, and then because they're both outside the deployment zone, they each get a damage power token. And it looks like we are activating, so R2 going to activate for Collin. Going to draw a command card. R2 going to activate for Derek. Going to draw a command card. So both players starting up a card. Going to activate Saw for Collin, who is going to trigger K2SO's Cassian's that I had to. Now, interestingly, oh, actually, yeah, you can't. Can you use it when Cassian uses strike team after deployment? No, you cannot. So you can't trigger it off of strike team because it says once per round. So after deployment, the round has not started yet. But Saw is going to trigger it, as Saw is a leader and did enter K2SO space. So now K2SO is ready to go with his ranged attack. I think the theming we did there was that they trust him enough by giving him enough. They've given him a gun by giving him power tokens, and now he can attack with a ranged attack. I don't know. It was fun. And Saw gonna double move all the way down to the far left door. Excuse me, the upper middle left door, I guess I should say. 3PO gonna activate, gonna focus up Mando. And it looks like 3PO or Gideon activated and focused up Cassian and pushed him up 2 spaces. So what does that accomplish? Oh, I should also mention there was an errata way back in the day to this mission where it says each player claims a objective token that matches their deployment zone. The errata was they claim it from the map. So you're supposed to take, each player is supposed to take one of these objectives off of the map. So there should only be 6 total, but it looks like they didn't realize that. We are going to update that for Vassal, or Trevor's going to update it for us for the Season 9 update. So that should show the corrected errated mission cards now. So understandable they didn't play it correctly here, but there's going to be more VPs available than normally there would be. Each of these posters is worth 1 VP to the player that controls that has that side at the end of each round. But you have to realize that when you flip a poster, not only are you going to be getting 1 extra VP, you're going to be denying 1 extra VP to your opponent. So they're really worth 2 net VPs if you think about it that way. All right, so we've got Turret activating. Going to move all the way into the T blocking terrain. I feel like he could have gone, let's see, he's here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oh, he couldn't quite get here, which is a really nice spot for a melee figure to hide in if you're in the red deployment zone. Or wait, is he speed 5? Yeah, he's speed 4. Speed 4 and reach is a good place to be for a 4-point. Oh, are they doing it? They're doing it. There they go. They took it off. Okay, nice. So there's only 6, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Nice. They played it. They realized they were supposed to take it off. Okay, sorry, I got distracted there. So Sabine and Mando are focused on Derek's side, and we haven't seen the second focus target yet for Collin. So Elite Jawa moving to the bottom middle door. So this is interesting that both players are positioning to open their doors into the middle area. And also, Collin is splitting his team up a lot more than Derek is. And K2SO is going to move all the way down to the bottom left, the tiny room. Is Derek going to counter? It doesn't look like it. I think Derek is going to be keeping his figures together. But Collin, so part of the cool thing about this Rogue One list, I've seen Morgan using a similar list, although Morgan didn't have Rebel Care Package, so maybe it's different. I don't know. I shouldn't speak on that. But yeah, Hondo going to take the terminal space. Oh no, we're going to be next to 3PO. And then we've got Verena, kind of the odd one out. I think will probably be replaced by Jyn Erso as we go into Season 9. Well, Verena is a good figure, especially after, I believe, Season 8 she got updated. She also got recosted from 8 to 7 with no other updates. Verena also going to stand next to the door. We've got Mando going to move up to the terminal. And Bay's going to move up next to Cassian on Collin's terminal. And it looks like Sabine's going to be the final activation for Derek, with Cassian as the final activation for Collin. And I guess I should have mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Collin has 9 activations to Derek's 8. So even though Collin got stuck with initiative round 1, and that's also the other advantage of not having initiative round 1 is if you're tied on activations, you get to have the last activation. Collin's going to get the last activation here with 9 activations. Okay, Sabine not going to move all the way up to get a grenade off. She probably could have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, she couldn't. She could not get a grenade. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3. She could throw a grenade here, but because of the blocking terrain between Shuret and that space, it would not hit him. So, and if she moved 1 space further, I mean, if she moved, she could have moved 1 space further to here and been safe. Because then Derek gets to activate again in round 2 first with initiative, right? So I don't know. Oh, that's right. Cassian, he can't because Cassian is going to activate last. Sorry, I forgot. I just said it, but Collin does get the last activation. So Derek does need to play a little safer. And actually, I think he might have maybe had to play a little safer than that even, because Cassian is moving with urgency and is now going to get a focused attack on Sabine here. Alright, with a power token that he got from Strike Team. Ooh, with Element to take away Sabine's only defense, which is the dodge. That's a lot of damage. Let's see. Let's throw Cassian's card up on here. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 damage, one short, unless Collin has another card. Oh, he's gonna forego the +2 in order to refill Cassian's power token supply. He's gonna do 8 damage there to Khotun. Decided to roll just to see what he would have gotten. Oh! Cassian sacrificed turret! He's going for the kill! He needs to do 3 damage. Does he have it? He surely would have spent the power token there. But it looks like... yeah, he got it. So Cassian sacrifices turret there to finish off Sabine. Fantastic play. With It Will Be Alright, again evoking his introductory scene from the Rogue One film. A ability that many decried as unusable when it was first spoiled, but as you saw there, it was quite useful. And now we're going to be going into round 2 with Derek now down a figure. Now both are down a figure, but Derek down 7 to Collin's 4. And both players are going to be gaining 3 VPs each from the posters. Derek gets initiative in round 2. And he's going to start off with Mando. Now can he get a shot on Cassian? He is going to be able to get a shot here. Going to be using the Disruptor Rifle. And Cassian has 10 health. So he needs to deal 9 damage, which he could easily do with Assassinate or some other card. Yeah, here, tools for the job. Going to add a red, so this is going to be a 5 dice attack. What do we got? 2 reds. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. There's already 9 damage pips without surges. That is going to be a dead Cassian from Mando. So right now Derek is up and Mandalorian's not in a horrible position. I mean, let's see, is this Baze here? So Baze could go 1, 2, 3, and I think he can actually see Mando from here. If he goes 4 space, so actually 1, 2, 3, can he see Mando from here? Yes, so Baze can actually get here with 3 movement and attack, get a free attack off on Mando, and then move down to here. So I'm thinking that's what we'll see, but he probably, well, Baze is focused, but it looks like R2 is going to go for the draw here. Going to try and load up for the next one. And Derek also activating his R2 to draw a new card. Okay, K2 going to open the door and use the remaining movement points to flip the poster. And he's now controlling both posters, so the Jawa is not going to be able to flip it. But if the Jawa opens that door, Derek's going to go open season on K2 there. Alright, Derek activating Gideon to focus Hondo and push him 2 spaces. Gideon pushing 3PO 2 spaces and going to move up to take his spot. 3PO activating for Derek to focus Onar. 3PO activating for Collin, going to focus Verena. And I think Collin sees the play I mentioned. 2, 3, 4. Oh no! He could have attacked from here. But he went 1 space to the right for 4 movement, so he doesn't have any movement left. So he's going to be a bit exposed from that position. And oops. Alright, hold on guys, I lost my... There it is. Alright, here's Baze attacking Mando. Gonna spend a block token. It is focused. And it looks like we're doing just 3 damage. Now, interestingly, he does benefit from getting a block token at least here, since he's still in Mando's line of sight, but he's pretty exposed there. And yeah, now Hondo can come up and attack him. So he could have gone here and gotten an attack and then moved down with his last remaining point, but now he's going to get counterattacked by Hondo. Who, let's throw his card up for those that are not as familiar. So let's see, is he going to spend the VPs to avoid the damage? Generally it's a bad idea, but he is going to spend it here. So that's going to give a 4-point VP swing to Derek. Oh, is he not? We see the +2. No, he did not. Yeah. So he did spend the VP. So Collin paid Derek 2 VPs to not take +2 damage. Still focused though. So that's going to do quite a bit. 5 damage. And even has enough movement points to flip the poster. 1, 2, 3, yeah. Because he was here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. How did he get that much movement? Oh, he used hit and run. So he did have 3 movement. So he attacked and then got 3 movement points, moved here, and then spent the remaining 2 to flip the poster. So great play there. Very efficient use of his action economy. Alright, Verena. I'm going to open the door and flip a poster here. And that is the end of round 2. And it looks like Derek is now up 18 to 11. Both players managed to stay... Oh no, actually Collin's ahead now on the posters. So Collin's going to go to 15. And Derek is... Oh, he should be at 15, right? Unless I missed something. But it looks like... I'm not sure what happened there. 12 to 17. Okay. Maybe I missed the VPs going up. That's probably what happened. So... Oh yeah, because it was 11 to 18, and then they realized that Collin had 1 more. So 12 to 17. It looks like second chance got played there on Mando, since now Collin has initiative. And so interestingly, I said it was a bad play to put Baze there, because he could have avoided that 5 damage. But since Baze survived, he's now going to get 2 power tokens. I believe, I think Hondo has line of sight to him. Is going to get 2 power tokens and is now in position to attack twice with assault. Yeah, Hondo has line of sight, so he's going to get 2 power tokens. And it looks like Collin had Comm Disrupt for the second chance, because we've got Verena and K2SO and Cassian, who are all spies. So no second chance for Mando. I think we're going to see Baze go off here with double attack. And we'll then have an extra movement point left over to move back into cover. So you know what? Looks like this actually worked. That actually worked out perfectly for Collin, and I'm terrible at this game. So let's see how this goes. So no second chance. No second chances for Mando. Oh, he moved up? So he's not going to use that 1 point to get back to safety after he attacks. I don't think he needed to do that. I think he could have just attacked him from where he was. And he has +2 accuracy built in, so didn't need that with the blue. Also, he should have... okay. Why did he... He didn't take the extra surge token. He should have gotten an extra surge token from Hondo there. Hondo had line of sight to him. Looks like he only took 1. Alright, so here is the attack. Pretty good with that surge token. He gets +1. It's going to cancel out the block, although the defense roll is really good there, so... Mando taking 6, and then gonna cleave. Oh, so that's why he moved up. He wanted to have line of sight to Hondo, so he could use the cleave 1. I still think it would have been better to just move him back to out of line of sight with that movement point, but there is a reason for that movement, so that's fine. No power token on this for either of them, so it looks like we're just going to see 3 more damage. If he had had that extra power token, well, he would have just gotten an extra cleave 1, so not something huge he missed out on, but he did not get the kill on Mando there. Oh, interesting. He's using the cleave 1 on Hondo, and he's now using Saw's ability to discard light bow, which is over here, turret's card, which is no longer usable, to deal 1 more damage to Hondo. He's getting some chip damage in there, and now we're going to get 2 block tokens now that he is again in line of sight of Hondo and Mando. Mando going to activate though, going to go for the attack on him, on Baze. Let's see if Baze can survive. Baze only has 6 health left, so Mando only needs to do 5 damage. Oh, he's not going to go for it. He's going to go for Verena. Interesting. There's a card that was played. Looks like a 0-point card, but I do not see where it ended up. Element of surprise. I should have known because I see a negation has also been played there. And nice, interestingly, Verena is going to get to benefit from her defensive ability, improvise cover, since she's next to the objective token. Alright. Oh, is this focused? I did not realize he was focused. Oh, did he play primary target and I missed it? He did. Okay, so that's what happened. That's why he went for... I guess that's why he went for Verena, because she cost 7. So went for primary target. I think she only has 11 health. Yeah, only has 11 health. So he needs to deal 10 damage here. And she got a really good roll, though. Plus she has +1 evade built in, and then +1 block from improvise cover. So I think he's only doing 5 damage. No, 6 damage. Ooh, and she's got parry too. So that's going to stop the other surge. So I think now only taking 4 damage. Going to add an evade. Yeah, 4 damage. And then Mando able to move back into cover. Although I don't think he's safe. Oh, okay. So Verena going to activate and go for the... to finish off Hondo here. Who dodges. So that's that. And Hondo going to be able to activate. Although it looks like Derek doesn't feel like Hondo is under any threat here. Going to use Gideon to move Hondo up 2 more spaces. Is he going for the touchdown? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. He's 2 spaces short, but if he's got urgency or something, Hondo can get the touchdown here. And if you don't know what I'm referring to, that is Hondo's "What's Mine Is Yours," where if he ends the round in your opponent's deployment zone, he gets 2 VPs and the opponent loses 2 VPs. Alright, and now I've learned that anytime I unplug and plug my microphone back in, I have to reset the settings. So that's fun. But we are back to Collin's activation, and let's see who he is going to go with. Yeah, saw, that makes sense. Gonna flip the poster. Now, interestingly, he could have gone 1, 2, 3. Oh, he couldn't quite get line of sight to Hondo from there, right? He had 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, it wasn't gonna happen. So he didn't really have any good attacks. He could have gone 1, 2, 3. No, I couldn't even get. I don't think he can even get line of sight to Gideon, could he? Let's see. No, no way. Gideon's pretty well protected right there. Alright, so I've got 3PO activating, gonna focus Mando and protect him. Collin could get an attack, I think with K2 maybe? 1, 2, 3, 4. No, K2 is too far down too. But K2 can open the door and kill the Jawa. But then he'll have to face a counterattack from Onar. So it looks like Collin's starting to pass. R2 going to draw a card for Derek. And now the Jawa. So Collin drew a card with R2. Jawa going to open the door for Derek. 1, 2. Can he get there? Oh yeah, he could. So open the door, move 2 spaces, and then flip that poster. So are we still tied? No, it looks like Collin's ahead. So Derek, so it's now 4-2 posters for Collin. Gideon gonna activate, gonna move over and focus Farina. And now Hondo. Now what's nice, what Collin has done is, I didn't call this out, with Saw moving there, it looks like he's blocked Hondo from getting the touchdown there, right? Because he's gonna go. Yeah, he'd have to go through Collin's figures to do it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yeah, even if he had a 2 movement point card. Oh, I didn't notice Second Chance got played on Baze. Oh, look at that. Okay, so that explains Baze being a little bit gung-ho there with the positioning. He felt pretty safe with Second Chance on him. So Hondo probably gonna go for an attack on somebody. Yep, gonna go for Verena. And let's see if. So Collin did pay him. I'd be surprised if he paid him again. He paid him again. Oof. So Hondo has now earned 8 points. 8 VPs if you think about it. He got 4 VPs and he took away 4 VPs from Collin at this point. Just on his own, just by that. Yeah. And he's gonna do some pretty good damage here. Well, 2, I guess 2, no, 3 damage, so that's fine. K2 gonna activate. Yep, gonna open the door and still has line of sight to the Jawa. Let's see. I know he has an accuracy bonus. So able to use vague and unconvincing. Continually unexpected as a special action. And he can spend a token, so it looks like that's what's going to happen. Well, he's not going to spend the token, but he is focused. And that's a dodge by the Jawa. 2 dodges there for Derek. Onar going to activate. Looks like 1, 2, 3, 4. And then rush. 1, 2, 3. Okay, uses rush on Baze Malbus. And then are we going to see To the Limit being played? Yes, To the Limit with Onar is a combo, as you can use rush as a special action. So he moved, and then he used the rush special action, and then he played To the Limit off of a special action from rush, which will allow him to perform an attack now. And then because of immunity, he will not take the stun from To the Limit. So this is a fantastic card. I think it should go in every list that has Onar. It's just that good. Also great with Jabba as well, and you often see Onar and Jabba together. So we're going to see a focused range 1 attack. I'm guessing on Verena. Interesting that Verena's getting the defense bonus. If you're adjacent to an object or non-friendly figure other than the attacker. Oh, she's not getting it. She's getting the +1 evade that she normally has. Okay, so here we go. Big attack. Not a great roll. I think we're looking at 4 damage. But that should be enough to kill her. Unless she has parry. Oh, we're seeing Baze's card being played. Derek gonna get some VPs, and now let's see if we can zoom out. There we go. There's Baze's card. It's 1 point in Vassal, but it actually costs 2, and it's getting corrected. But it's kind of an equivalent to like it's a combination of Dying Lunge and Onar's Extra Protection. So when a friendly figure within 3 spaces suffers damage equal to its health, before it's defeated, Baze can move up to 2 spaces, gain a power token, and then perform an attack. But then that friendly figure is defeated. So in this case, Verena suffered damage equal to her health, so now Baze gets to move 2 spaces and perform an attack after gaining a token. So going to be probably going after... you don't have to attack the attacker, so... He's probably going after Hondo, but it looks like Onar is going to be playing Get Behind Me to take the attack instead. And Onar going to use his Get Down ability here to add an evade, which is going to prevent a damage, so he's going to take 4 damage there. And it looks like he's discarding Verena's command card for Saw to deal 1 damage to Hondo. Okay, we're going into the next round, round 4. It's currently 26 points for Derek, 10 points for Collin. I'll go Collin should be getting 4 VPs here to Derek's 2. So yep, Collin gonna go to 14, Derek gonna go to 28. Oh, 16. Not sure what that's from. Baze gonna recover 2 damage from Second Chance. And Derek's gonna have the initiative, but it looks like Collin is gonna play Take Initiative. Do we see negation? And yes, Derek has the negation. So Derek gonna be keeping initiative here since Calm Disrupt already got played. By the way, that is one of the strongest things you can do with Calm Disrupt, is being able to stop negation. Alright, so it looks like Hondo gonna activate first for Derek. Going to attack Baze, who has 7 health. And he's paying again. Oh my gosh. So Collin has now paid Hondo 3 times, so that's 12 VPs total, right? If you pay 3 times, you've lost 6 VPs. Derek has gained 6 VPs. So the actual score would have been 20 to 24 if Collin had not paid any of those VPs. Of course, it's hard to quantify it like that because how many more figures would he have lost if he had taken an extra 6 damage? But generally, so I'll just say generally 4 VPs swing, 2 VPs lost and 2 VPs given to the opponent, it's not worth 2 damage in almost like 95% of cases. And so let's see, he's gonna spend a block token for Baze, and I should throw Hondo's card up here. You know, and I'm not trying to be harsh. I'm not trying to. I don't like to be overcritical in these because you know it's not that fun. I'm just using this to try and illustrate the point about when you play against Hondo, because it's hard to quantify it sometimes until you see it play out. But it helps to think about it of like that, right? Where what is the current score? And we know that he's paid Hondo 3 times, so currently the score would have been 20 to 24. And that shows you just how big of a swing those payments are every time you pay. I think this was actually the most justified payment here, though, because I think it does increase his attack profile, the +2 damage. I think he goes from doing about 4 to 5 damage to actually doing 6 to 7. Let's see. But currently, with that block token, he's going to be doing 3 damage here. And he would have been doing 5 if Collin hadn't paid. So Baze would have lived. And now Hondo is going to go behind the train. And now Baze is going to be able to activate here. He's going to gain 1 token. So what Derek did there is he moved Hondo in such a way that Hondo can't see Baze. But Baze could still be seen by Onar. And I actually think... so he started there. I think 3PO can actually see him as well. Right? Oh no. No, never mind. 3PO cannot see him. So yeah, he gets 1... Baze will get 1 token from Into the Fray. Sometimes it can be hard to try and figure out who can see Baze, because you have to draw a line of sight from everything on the map, kind of. Alright. So he's going to move 1 movement point, and now we're going to attack Onar. So no defense dice for Onar. Could add a block here with Get Down. But currently I think we're doing 4 damage with this attack. And now he has Assault, so he gets his attack again. It looks like Derek is going to use Get Down to stop the surge. So he's only going to take... Oh, he would have taken 6 damage if he hadn't used Get Down there. So Onar would have died, but the Get Down is going to keep him alive with 1 health. And that is rough, because now Onar does get to activate here. So Onar going to activate, going to attack Saw Gerrera. So there we go. No surges. Gonna do, looks like 4 damage. Oh, they assassinate for the exact 7 to take out Saw there. And that's gonna put Derek at... Oops. I believe he was at 30, so it's gonna put him up to 34. And that was an activation taken away as well, so that's super rough for Collin. Gonna try and take out Onar with Gideon here. Shouldn't be too hard. There, he's got it. Yep, so Onar goes down and Collin goes to 20. Again, it would have been 26 to 28. Jawa's gonna activate. Gonna flip the poster over to Derek's side. So now Derek is in the lead on posters. R2 gonna activate for Collin. Gonna flip a poster himself. Now it's tied. 3PO going to activate for Derek and going to play Rebel Graffiti. A little memento from Sabine there, who went down very early. It's going to get 2 VPs. Now it just needs 4 VPs to get to 40. Looks like he's also going to play Planning with 3PO. Going to discard Take Initiative. Drew the last cards of his deck. And is that time? That must have been time in the round, because it looks like both players have finished. Oh, well, it looks like Collin still had K2SO, but that must have been time. K2 not going to be able to do anything. He could have gone 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't think he could have gotten line of sight with K2 to Hondo. Yeah, no way. So that looks like Derek took it there. I thought that was still a great game, though. And it looks like, I said, again, it looks like it wouldn't have mattered, right? Because Collin would have been at 26, Derek would have been at 30. So it looks like Derek still would have won. I think it was losing, not killing Onar there was really big. Just unlucky that he got survived on 1 health and was then able to turn it around and kill Saw in one shot with Assassinate. Multiple dodges from Hondo was pretty unfortunate, or Hondo and the Jawa. I thought Collin played really well flipping the posters. I think the main thing, and I'm going to try and do this a little more now that we're at the end. I'm going to try and do a little more strategy review because I feel like I just kind of end it without doing really a post game. I feel like Derek did a really good job keeping his figures together and fighting together. And I think if Collin hadn't spread out his figures so much, because he had Saw and he had Saw and K2SO down here, so he kind of split up, right? He sent some figures here and he sent some figures here. Derek did refused to be flanked, and he came all on this side, and because of that, Derek had pretty much all of his figures fighting against half of Collin's. And that is kind of a classic strategy, especially in tabletop war games. It's called refused flank. It's where you pretend to split up your forces so your opponent kind of does the same, but really you're baiting one side to kind of hang out and do nothing while you put all the bulk of your forces against half of their army. And that's kind of what happened here. This Derek used the Jawa very effectively down here to kind of bait K2SO into sticking around and fighting and going after the Jawa, who, I mean, he should have died. The Jawa should have died, but it wouldn't have mattered to Derek because it's just 3 points. I think if he had just left these two objectives alone and had K2 over here fighting and contributing to the fight, same with Saw, if Saw had been up here, he could have probably gotten some key kills against Derek's figures that might have changed the tide of the battle. So, just wanted to kind of call that out. Again, I don't know. I don't usually do the strategy post game because I just don't want to. I don't want it to feel like I'm being super critical. But all these games are just for fun, and I think it's good to see these games and learn from them. Like I said, I think Collin played really solidly. His positioning was really good, and he played the objective game really well, as we saw. He actually was controlling and ahead on objectives for most of the game there until he just started to fall so behind on pieces that he couldn't quite keep it up. Although he still kept it even. He was using his support pieces really well. And by the way, that is really important in Imperial Skirmish. If you don't stay focused on the objectives in addition to your positioning and your, taking kills and defeating figures before they activate, that's standard stuff. But if you're not on top of the objectives, or at least staying even on objectives against your opponent, if you just let your opponent run away with objectives, they're just going to run away with the game. So I think Collin played really solid there, keeping the objectives in mind, making sure he wasn't just giving them up and letting Derek take them, was really, really good. So anyway, thanks guys for watching. So this will probably be one of the last Season 8 games before we go into Season 9, and we're looking forward to it. And hope to see you guys for Season 9. Alright, see you later.